Hello, I'm Mark Keene from Keene Engineering. I'm going to show you a couple updated products that we're working on. This is our series of our gold suction guns. We have an A22 and an A23 gold suction gun. Basically what these are designed for is to reach into cracks and crevices and suck up the black sand or the gold that's deep into a crack that you really would have a difficult time getting out with a shovel or even a small hand trowel. You literally have to suck the material. So to give you an idea, what you've got inside here is you have a rubber plunger, okay? And on this rubber plunger, when you pull this long stroke, it creates a vacuum and it creates a suction here. So if I want to pull something out of a crack, I'm going to push this plunger all the way down. I'm going to pull back quickly, probably more like this, and it creates a pretty significant vacuum. In fact, I can't really pull it until I release my thumb. So we use that to suck out your cracks and crevices. Now, in these, I get comments a lot on people. Everybody seems to love them, but the only interesting thing, you do have to adjust them. As they get worn out, they need adjustment, and when they're new, they need to be adjusted. So basically, when you pull your stroke back and forth, this one's set pretty good. I feel a little bit of friction when I pull it out. If it's too loose, which I can adjust here with my finger, I'll loosen up that rubber grommet. Now there's no friction. And here I'm just going to take my finger, I'm going to put it in the way of that wing bolt. I'll show you that in a second. And there's a good stroke again. Just to show you what I'm doing internally, is I got a wing nut right here. As you tighten the wing nut, you compress this rubber grommet and it creates more pressure inside the chamber. As I loosen the rubber grommet, it creates less pressure and less friction. So you have to adjust them periodically. Now what's kind of cool about these units is that when you suck up your material, you've got a chamber in the front here. So as I suck up the material, the chamber fills up. I might have 2 or 3 strokes of pulling it until this chamber is full, and that's when it's time to clean it out. Now you can simply, to do a clean out on your stem here, you can remove that, but there's actually an easier way to do it. You'll notice that we put a large port in the side of the pipe here. And what this port does is when you pull the stroke up, it allows the water to leak out. But what I like to do for a cleanup is I usually put my finger in here and I'll pull it back till I feel my finger hit that plunger. And then then I know from experience how far I pull the plunger up to expose it. Now when I want to dump my material into my pan, I'll take it and I'll just kind of flip it and I'll shake it like that, and I'll tip it up. And as I shake the device, I have my plunger. If you can see inside here, I got my metal disc and my plunger even with the bottom of this hole, so I can shake everything out like this. I can even go back and forth just a little bit on my stroke to make sure that I have it done right. So that's the A23, and this is what most guys use for packing in. It's a little smaller. And by the way, if you want to pack it in, you can take this end off, you can take this end off, and you have a very, very compact package. The longer one is pretty cool, especially if you're doing large cracks and crevices, because you get tremendous vacuum from this long stroke. Plus you also have a lot more holding capacity in here. Instead of holding, let's say, a cup of material in that one, you might hold about 2 cups of material with this one. And again, you have the same process if you want to adjust it like this. Okay, so this one's a little too loose, so I'm gonna just put my finger in there, or my thumb in there, and I'm just gonna adjust it until I have a little bit more. There we go. There's a little bit more friction now. So now I'm gonna have super suction. I can hardly pull it open unless I really try hard. I could have even more friction if I wanted to. But again, they're dry. When they're wet, it's a different scenario. These are really designed just for wet material. So again, the smaller one's better for packing in remote areas and more getting into smaller cracks and crevices. This is almost a little better if you're just using like a sluice box. And you can literally stand up with this one and just suck that material up, So that's more of a higher volume, higher capacity type device. And but again, they both have their individual, applications. But I've been selling these for now probably about 40 to 50 years, and over the years they evolve and get better. And you'll notice we actually do a really good quality. We have a rolled thread here on the end. We have a good quality replaceable rubber grommet, which I do carry spares on. It's a nice quality plated steel handle, and it's just a good device overall. And I sell a lot of them, and people seem to really like it. So if you have any further questions, give us a call. It's called an A22 and an A23, the Keene Engineering Gold Suction Guns.